Hello and welcome to Hindustan Times Online Desimartini. My name is Sandeep, and today I have with me the very talented Mr. Ranvir Shorey, who is coming up with his new film Sonchiraiya, directed by Abhishek Chaubey. Hello.
Hi, Sandeep.
It's a pleasure to have you on our podcast.
Thank you very much.
So Ranvir, at the very outset, I'd like to ask you, what exactly excited you in the script that you said yes to it?
Well, first of all, it was a film on dacoits, which I think the dacoit films are one of the few kind of films in the world which are made only in India, which is a kind of a subgenre which is born and bred in India. So that was very exciting to be able to play a dacoit, and it was a beautiful story, and I had a great part in it, which Abhishek was giving me, and I was very grateful for that. So these are the things which made me jump on it.
So the fact that it's also based on, dacoits again, who to a certain extent are a product of rebellion. Did you kind of explore that part in your character?
Well, that's how the parts are written. I mean, dacoits were also called bagis. Bagi means a rebel. So these were people who were failed by the system and who had decided that they do not want to function with the laws and the norms of society, and because they find no justice there, and then they take justice into their own hands. A lot of times it's actually revenge which is mistaken to be justice, and this is and this kind of creates they had their own lifestyle, you can say. Their own way. It was a way of life more than just robberies and robbing and killing people. There was much more to it, and these are the kind of themes which Sonchiraiya explores. Like Abhishek says, these are about dacoits with existential issues.
Okay.
So that's what the film explores, and it's great to be a part of it.
Ranveer, with this film, you're paired up with some really remarkable actors. You have Ashutosh Rana, you have Manoj Bajpayee, and obviously, the director of the film himself has directed quite, good films for that matter, wonderful films, critically acclaimed films. Did you really, what was your takeaway from each one of them?
Well, Abhishek Chaubey is somebody I have wanted to work with for a very long time. We've known each other socially for a while, but never really got a call from him saying, that he wants to cast me for something. So finally, when I did get a call from him, I was very excited, but I was also very scared because I was just scared that it should not be a small part or the kind of part which will leave me hungry still. Achha. But fortunately for me, the part that he gave me was very nice and quite meaty, and it was something which I was very, very excited about. Working with Manoj Bajpayee, Ashutosh Rana for me was a dream, because they've long before my own acting journey started, I was still an assistant when they were already rising stars in the world of acting, and I have always looked up to them. They've kind of been my seniors, almost older brother kind of a vibe. So I was very excited that I'm going to be working with them. I had already worked with Manoj on another film called Gali Guliyan earlier.
Yes, exactly.
And this is my first time when I was going to be working with Ashutosh also. So that was just it was a dream come true. I was very happy and excited to be working with them. Sushant also I was very happy working with because he's a great role model, I feel, for for the current generation. Okay. Because he's an actor who, in spite of being a leading man, who's taking chances with different kind of parts. He's also not your typical pretty boy. He's you can say a man with a lot going on in his head as well. He's a science buff. I have a great love for science as well, so we got along very well on that. He had got his telescope on the shoot. We were stargazing. Great conversations about philosophy and science on the set. So it was a great time. Bhumi was somebody else who I thought was I was just blown away by her acting prowess, because to carry off a part like this is not an easy task, especially with a cast like this. When you have people like Manoj Bajpayee and Ashutosh Rana in the cast. But she's not only held her own; she has shown. I would say.
The fact that with the choice of your films, for that matter, so you've right from the beginning of your career, you have not really gone into choosing films which are typically mainstream or quintessential mainstream.
Formula,
Yeah, exactly. So the fact that Sonchiraiya is also to a certain extent, it doesn't really cater to the mainstream mass. What goes on in your head, or what kind of roles do you crave for the fact that you have actually chosen this role once again?
Well, first of all, I'll disagree with you that Sonchiraiya doesn't cater to the mainstream, because it is a film which is completely accessible to the mainstream. It is a film which all segments of Indian society will find entertaining and relate to. But having said that, these are the kind of films I've always wanted to be a part of. I've always tried my best to be a part of these kind of films, which I like to call are the middle of the road kind of films, which are not completely art house, but which are not completely mainstream formula films.
So you've been a part of Death and the Guns, you've been a part of
sure, but I've also been part of Singh is King. I've also been part of Chandni Chowk to China.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but one thing I look for in a film is that it should not be a completely formulaic film, which is basically what core of mainstream Bollywood is. But it should also not be art house, which is too far to the left, I feel, which has no entertainment value and are either made just for social causes or made purely for art. So for me, films are a kind of mix of art and entertainment. So I look for both in them.
Finally, before I leave, one question that I've got to ask you is, you have come a long way. From being a production person to hosting a TV shows and stuff like that, and then into films and web series for that matter. You just did Rangbaz, and it was a huge success. So, are you in a happy space today?
Yes, I'm much happier than I was, say, a few years ago, thanks to the web space actually, because there's a lot more work happening. What happens is when you're relying only on films, you don't get enough work as an actor, because especially for the kind of work that I am hungry for. And now with the web space opening up, I would say there's a lot more work happening, which I find very interesting. So I'm doing a little more work for the last year or hopefully this year also. So yes, I would say I'm in a happy place right now.
Alright, so that was a wonderful conversation with the wonderful actor Mr. Ranvir Shorey. My name is Sandeep with Hindustan Times Online Desimartini. Thanks for watching.